Hey, hello everyone. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all of that good stuff. Welcome to Creativity Hive's weekly show. This is our holiday special, and I'm going to bring Mo and Neil on, and we're feeling very festive today. Hi, everybody.
Hello, Miriam, and hello,
Hello.
everyone. And I forgot to wear something red, but I'm so sorry. But Merry Christmas to everyone.
I know
So,
I was
Miriam,
going to wear a Santa hat, but
me as well, but it's somewhere.
yeah, I know. I went, oh, wow, where's my Santa hat?
Well, Miriam's got no excuse for not having a Santa hat, but we'll find out about that shortly. So,
Yes.
Miriam, what are we doing today, by the way? I
What
don't
are
know.
we doing? You were planning to show us some VFX, but we were going to also talk a little bit about this Santa thing that I do. But as you can see, some samples behind me. I do one of the things I do as a stills photographer is visits with Santa. It's a whole storybook experience where children have milk and
Okay.
cookies with
Well,
Santa and do
I
all this
have
stuff.
no VFX to show because something happened to my After Effects. So, uh, yeah.
Oh,
So,
I don't
but
know whether I could believe you.
I swear, there's no visual effect. But anyway, so if you would maybe play the um, file that says Christmas
Okay.
special, and we
He
can
always
see.
likes to surprise us. I never know what's going to happen here. All right. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's a little bit of a thank you from Neil and I for the amazing stuff that you do, which is something that the show is about today. So our special guest, everyone, for all that those who are watching is Miriam Haugen for a
Oh,
change.
I
And you
I'm the
as the
guest, huh?
owner, yes, you are the guest of honor. And we want to know a little bit more about the whole thing that we've seen and what you do.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay. So I've been a stills photographer for many, many years and doing portraits and families and children and all of that. And a number of years ago, I started doing, it's one of the things that I would offer seasonally is to do photographs with Santa. But they were, and I always like to introduce a little bit of a storytelling element to it. But it was about 5 years ago, I became aware of, anyway, what some photographers in parts of the US were doing was a whole full-on Santa experience where it's a storybook experience, and they'll have and in my version of it, we have milk and cookies with Santa, as you saw in the
Yes,
in the
yes.
video there. The children, I start out by telling them a little story before they ever see Santa. I tell them about this huge
Maybe this might be a time to cut over to
to yours, except that
yeah.
I just have a problem, Neil, in that it's still saying that it is too large.
230.
And I've really cut it way down.
Yeah, so
So
I don't know.
what is
He
it?
has
What does it say?
a little video too to share with us.
What does it say it needs to be?
200 megabytes. So you're just barely over.
I'm just barely over. Okay.
Okay.
Wow, that's a small file.
A tiny file.
Yeah. So
Okay.
okay,
Give me a
so
couple
while
minutes
you're
here.
Neil's going to work on that, and we'll yeah, it's a little behind the scenes video that he shot, right, Neil?
Mm-hmm.
So, which we had a little bit of a few clips involved in the one that that awesome thing that Mo put together. But oh well, I guess you'll see if we get that we get that video up. It'll show you me telling the story to the children before they see Santa.
Yeah.
And anyway, you'll just have to see it. But it is awesome because the children really feel like they are in the presence of the real Santa. And sometimes they're delighted and sometimes they're very awestruck. There was one little boy here just last weekend that kept giving, looking over at Santa with his side eyes. And he told his mom later, I was really scared. Or I was really nervous. That's what it was. I was really nervous. So anyway, it is really, really fun. And the children leave with a stronger belief in the magic of Christmas. And that is just really a delight. And I am photographing the whole time, and they then can purchase a storybook, for instance, that tells the story of their time with Santa, that they can actually sit down and read with their photographs in it. It's just really, really cool.
So
Just try highlights MP4.
Highlight MP. Okay, I'll try that.
15.7. Holy moly. Super transcode.
Whoa, okay.
Super transcode.
Now it's happy now. It's uploading, so it'll take a moment.
Neil, you got to show me how you did this. 15 from 250. Did you go to Twitter HD?
No. Yeah, it's just going back in and pulling the settings down.
Okay,
know,
the bit rates
and
are down.
it's amazing how I tried to figure out how you get your beautiful creations down to a small enough file for this thing, because it's
here we go.
The trick is simple in Premiere, right? You go in, you choose the Twitter HD preset. It's I'm talking 1 gig down to 60, 70 megs without losing massive amounts of resolution. It's a very cool preset. The codec suppression is really cool.
See,
so anyway.
even Neil can learn new things.
Yes.
I've learned something new as well. That highlights is
Oh, the Twitter.
really cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will
Twitter
use
HD.
The Twitter one, yeah.
I mean, if you drop your original one in and go to the Twitter Twitter and see what it is, and the bitrate is at 1.0, and you can push it up, so you can go to 3 and 4, and you'll still be like 150, 200 megs, even less. But
Yeah.
Miriam, you ready to see what?
Well, I can't. Okay, so that last one that he did is still there. It's trying to upload. It's still
Okay, cool.
not really happy, I don't think. Oh, here it goes. I think. Shall I go ahead and try playing it?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's see what it looks like.
When I got here this morning, there was a box sitting outside the front door. And it was a great big box, about this big. You know what color it was? Do you have a guess?
Red.
You're right, it was red. It was a red box. And it had a huge ribbon on it, and a great big bow. And what color do you think that was?
Green.
You're right, it was green. And I was going, well, that's funny. I wasn't really expecting any deliveries today, so I brought it inside. I undid the ribbon. I lifted the lid. Guess what was inside?
What?
It was cookies. It was cookies. And on top of the cookies, there was a note. And the note said, "For Grace and Abigail Rose, love Santa." Wow. How did he know you were coming today? So I didn't know quite what to do, so I took the cookies out and I took them into the room where Santa usually comes, but he wasn't here yet, so I just set them down and I turned around and I heard something. I heard a ching, 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 and I turned around and there was Santa. And he says, "Well, I see you got the cookies." And I said, yes, I did. He says, "The elves made them with sugar and snow." Oh, wow. I'm like, that's amazing.
Snow?
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Oh,
And
they must be magical.
they must be. Well, do you want to have some cookies and milk with Santa? Okay, let's do it.
I know I can taste the sugar.
That's true. And maybe that's the sugar kind of overpowers the snow.
Okay, this is great. Can you scoot a little back this way, and then maybe you can just hold it a little in the middle,
And you
Trace.
open it there. Good.
Good job. All right.
Yeah, it was just
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I think it's working. So, which one would you like? Okay.
tractor. That's
Okay.
Oh, fun.
As you might guess,
incredible.
Miriam probably enjoys this as much as most any of the kids does. She really, really loves doing this.
You have to get in touch with your inner 5-year-old when you're doing this. And I really enjoyed getting in touch with my inner 5-year-old.
I'm going
So-
to share my screen for a second, Miriam, if that's okay.
Okay, you bet.
So, let me see if I can find where this thing has gone. It's gone somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I've seen a lot of really great pictures in my life, I guess, but this takes it to quite another level. So the end result of the Santa experience for the books, and Miriam can stop me if I'm wrong, but this is a sort of atmosphere you get. I mean, I'm just looking at the picture and I feel that we're not in any sort of studio environment. It looks like the North Pole, a rustic hut somewhere. It just brings out really good feelings. You actually want to kind of be there. So if you look at that, I mean, it's insanely beautiful the pictures, and the photography is it's stunning. Miriam should belongs on a movie set shooting really high end professional stuff. And I'm not saying this because it's Miriam. I'm saying this truly as a creative. The saturation levels, as Neil being a colorist, I mean, look at those reds. I mean, it's insane how she. I don't know how you get this right. I would never be able to do this. Not in a million years. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And I think personally that everyone out there who's in the area or whoever they are, if I had money to use for something like this, I would fly my little kid over from here just to have this experience. This is how good it looks to me. It does not look like it's a studio. It looks like the North Pole, and the little backdrop in the back of the painting. It's the little touches that make it actually very phenomenal. So, Miriam, if you said there's a storybook and all those really cool things. What is the experience actually entail from beginning to end? I mean, what do you get?
What do you get? Well, okay. So okay, so I'm photographing the whole time, and you saw him in the little behind the scenes that I do some directing. I'm going, okay, you scooch over here a little bit, you stand over here and hold the paper. But the focus, I always tell the parents, the focus is on their interaction with Santa. And I try too obtrusive, although it's important that I get the photographs. Yeah. And so they can, after a few days after we do this whole experience, then I get together with the parents and show them the images, and they get to decide. They will often pick a piece of wall art. They will often select a storybook, which reads like 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Okay. On the night before Christmas, Joe and Susie did dream of a magical Santa, or so it would seem. So it has their names in it, it has their photographs in it, and it is a book they can actually read and becomes a keepsake for years to come. And we have other things, products and photographs that people can purchase as well, Christmas cards and those sort of things.
Yeah, why don't you give a quick preface of the various sets that you do typically?
Yeah. Scenes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's all very scripted. So, when they first go in, they will have their milk and cookies with Santa, and they'll spend a little bit.
And these, I'm sorry to stop you, but you said cookies, right? And these are homemade cookies, right? From what I understand.
Well,
sometimes. Yeah, you make. I know you bake, so I saw your cookies, so I know that they look really good.
They are really good. They are really good. Yeah. If anybody wants the secret, it's Otis Spunkmeyer cookies. Okay. I occasionally will actually bake cookies, but mostly they're fresh baked, but from the frozen dough. So, and they are really good. They are really extra specially good sugar cookies. And it's funny that the children will say, I'll say, so can you taste the snow? And sometimes they'll say, yeah, I can taste the snow.
That's fantastic. I saw that behind the scenes. I mean, you prep them before you go in. It's
right.
How do you manage this sort of patience if you're having a bad day, as an example?
If I'm having a bad day, I'm not allowed to have bad days.
You're not allowed to. Yes, you have to be as professional as you are.
Santa does not have a bad day. I do not have bad days. No, but I really truly enjoy children. So it's not hard for me. When they come in, and sometimes we have children. Now you saw in this behind the scenes 2 very angelic little girls. Okay, they were good subjects for a behind the scenes. That's not always the way it is. There are times where you have children that are bouncing off the walls. I have a certain number that have handicaps and disabilities that come in, and it takes a little bit more patience. And then
you have the ones that are terrified of Santa.
They're the ones that are terrified of Santa. Usually, not 100% of the time, but usually we can get past. I mean, we can get past that, where when I prep them, part of the reason for that story about the cookies is to prepare them and have them, not be so scared. I mean, cookies, that breaks down a lot of barriers right there.
Yeah.
You want to have cookies with Santa? Oh yeah, I'd love some cookies. So, so then they'll sit down and they don't have to touch Santa. And there are times where, you'll have a child that is more nervous. And so I'll put the one that's less nervous closer to Santa and the one that's more nervous farther away. Sometimes mom has to be in there because they're just clinging on to her for dear life. They were all excited until they actually saw him.
in a case like that, and I'm thinking about my little one as an example, where she'll see Santa and run screaming through the door, right through the door, literally. Right. How do you get the shots?
Well, you have to. That's where having some more time and having patience really makes a difference. So there's a.
Well, I'm going to kick in here a little bit and say, my nickname for Miriam is the Queen of Chaos, and she works with little ones, and she has for 40 years now that we've with the studio here, and there are so many sessions that she has done where it's a family session and they've got 2, 3, 4 little kids, and one or more of the kids is bouncing off the walls, yelling and screaming, crying at least half the time, and the parents walk out of the session going, there's nothing that is going to be useful for that session. That was awful. And then they come in to place the order and they look at the pictures that she has assembled for them and they're going, when did that? I don't remember this happening.
I can imagine.
And she will have captured the little moments here and there and then worked on them a bit. And it's all wonderful and it's all good. And she is so good at working with the little kids that are terrified, because most of them, and I can hear them down the hall when they go in and they see Santa and they start screaming, right? But yet, because this is typically a half hour to 45-minute process by the time she's gone through all the various sets. And normally by about 15 or 20 minutes in, they're practically sitting on Santa's lap. And so, yeah, there's a few that make it all the way through scared, but most of them, she's just really good at working with the kids, and Santa's just a great guy, I mean, he's Santa. So
and this is with no extra help. It's just Miriam doing it naturally. If there's something chaotic, Neil gets called in, I'm sure.
No.
No. Okay. Neil,
Miriam and the parents,
and sometimes I'll ask them to help.
Wow. So there's no extra. So you manage the photography. You got to catch those special moments.
Right.
You got to get them into the moments. You got to calm them down. You got to look for the lighting that's just correct, the angle that's just correct. Set design. Your camera.
Of course,
work.
that's all done ahead of time. I've got the set ready.
But that's quite amazing. So my biggest question would be, what actually Neil said 40 years, and I was like, holy God, really was it 40 years? What began this particular idea of the Santa experience with you?
Well, you really want to know?
Yes.
I had started, gosh, a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago, doing, bringing in just a friend that had a Santa costume and liked to play Santa, and I'd bring them in for a day and invite my clients for little quick 15-minute sessions. So I started doing that, and I did that for a number of years, and then I hired a business consultant who said, Miriam, you've got to get rid of these mini sessions, because I was doing other seasonal things as well, like I'd bring in live animals for Easter, and different things like that.
Bunnies through miniature horses.
Yeah.
In the studio.
We'd have rabbits, and we'd have goats, and we'd have a miniature horse and all kinds of things here in the studio.
Cleaning up afterwards. Cleaning up afterwards. Live animals.
I'd bring, I definitely had help with that. I had a bunch of 4-H kids that would bring the animals and clean up after them. So, but he said, you've got to get rid of these things. That's just, that doesn't fit your brand. So I said, I knew you were going to say that, but Santa, I really have a following with Santa. I was getting people that were calling me in September and October and wanting to know what the dates were for Santa. And I was just going, I just don't want to get rid of that. And he suggested that I get in touch with some other photographers who were doing more of a high-end Santa experience. And so I learned that there were other photographers, mostly on the East Coast of the U.S. and in the Midwest of the U.S., who were doing these very elaborate sessions. And I started connecting with those photographers. And in fact, I took a class from a photographer from North Carolina, and which anybody, if they're interested, I'd be happy to connect you with him. And he actually created the background. So there is a possibility that you might see photographs that look a bit like mine. If you, I had somebody that came in and said, I have a puzzle with that background. Well, it's because the gentleman that I bought the background from he licenses his work.
Did you say background? Really?
Yes.
So the entire thing in the back is a background.
Well, some of it is real and much of it is background.
I cannot believe it.
Those Christmas trees, the Christmas trees that you see there, they're not there. They are background. They're part of the background.
But how do you manage to get this sort of depth from that?
Do you want me to tell all my secrets?
I cannot. No. I thought creating visual effects was magic. This is beyond magic.
Background is that good. So that is part of it. Is the background is very good and very realistic looking. I do, and of course, having it lit properly is important as well. You can tell, obviously, the chairs and the table and the rug, that's all, and the lamp is really there. There's a number of things that are really there, and the window and the tree and some of the other things are not really there.
This is actually very much
on a piece of cloth, printed on a piece of cloth.
It's very much the same as when you're trying to shoot a movie or something like that, and they're setting up the scene, and parts of it you have added effects on, and parts of it are real, and you have to know how to stage it and light it and photograph it. So whether it's video or stills, so that you cannot tell what is there and what isn't, so that it all looks like it's there. And so that's just one of those things of all the years of experience of setting up scenes and making believable scenes around and behind people.
Very well done.
One of the things that I have learned after years of doing Santa photographs is that to have a real Christmas tree with lights on it, it's very difficult to have that glowy look to the lights on the Christmas tree in an actual photograph. I mean, having it part of the background is better because the glow has already been added, and otherwise I'd be photoshopping glowing lights on every single
the brightness
image.
Range between the dark green tree needles and the bright lights would be rough even with HDR. So
it's just getting the they don't look bright and glowy the way you visually perceive them when you're in real life with them. One thing I do in Photoshop on every single image is that lamp that's in the background. It is Neil asked me yesterday if I wanted him to turn on the lamp, and I'm going, what do you mean turn on the lamp? He says, well, don't you want me to turn it on? And I'm going, there's no bulb in it. I turn it on in Photoshop.
That's pretty cool. I'm looking at
because she gets a better look from the lamp by faking it in Photoshop than having a real bulb in it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how good she is.
It's. I'm looking at it. I zoomed right in, and I can't see. It looks like it's on. It's fooled me completely. Holy God! I never thought I'd see this. But that's So you take them through a number of sets and stories.
So they're doing, okay, so, oh yeah, you were asking, okay, so they have milk and cookies, the typical thing. And here's where if I have a child that's really nervous, then, or challenging in other ways, sometimes I have to change the order. Like if I have a child that's clinging to mom and the cookies, they're just not going to sit there and have cookies with Santa. And I'm going, oh gosh, what is this kid going to respond to? And so sometimes we'll get out the storybook and maybe they'll respond to the storybook.
How about just first giving the basic list of things?
The basic list. Okay. So they do the milk and cookies. Then Santa, there's a nice book, as you saw some of in the behind the scenes there. He actually,
with no naughty names in it, only the nice names.
Yes, it's only in my world there is no naughty list. There's only a nice list, and every child that visits is in there. There was and it has like 1,000 names in it, but I still have to go in ahead of time. Little secret. I ahead of time, I'll make sure that their name and their spelling of their name is actually in the book. And of course, anyway, so Santa finds their name in the nice book. Then there's a list that is, then you saw that in the photographs too, that's written in Elvish.
Okay.
And it really is Elvish from Lord of the Rings. So, you know, so they can't, nobody can read it except for the elves. But it is the list of every wish, every dream, toy they ever dreamed of.
Okay.
And so Santa activates the list by sprinkling the magic dust, and then it reactivates it for the new year. So their new wishes and thoughts go on to the list. I'm thinking, what's next? He gives them a gift. There is actually a magical gift that he gives to each child, and it is a wooden box. I should show you this.
Yes. Miriam. Okay, Neil.
Yeah, she'll be right back with the box.
Right back.
I'm back.
Okay, cool. Oh, is that the magic little box?
This is a magic box, and thank you, Larry Hirschberger. He's the person that I bought the background from, and he also created these magic boxes. So this magic box. Inside the magic box is a wish book.
No way.
Oops, turn right side up. A wish book. Doesn't that look like something that was made at the North Pole?
It does. It's magic. It's actually very cool.
And he opens it up and shows that their name is actually already written in the book.
So they each get this, or is
they each get this? This is something
to take away with them. Yes.
Yes. Yes. And then Santa activates it. He sprinkles the magic dust, and then everything they write in the wish book after that, the information goes straight to the North Pole.
Right.
So how
These
cool
kids
is that?
Walk out clutching that box. It is the most precious thing in the world.
Yes.
It's quite amazing. I didn't know the level of detail
that
you go through. So how does one get in touch with you and fill in your magic book of your schedule for the year, and how do people get to know about you, right? So we want to know all your links, so
my goodness.
Post it out there.
Comments. I guess I could put SantaExperienceOregon.com. I'll go ahead and put it in. Make sure I spell it right. Oregon.
Right.
So, anyway.
And
so
you do this.
That's me. And then they can go to the website, and you can actually book a consultation. I don't schedule any of these without a consultation first, so I can really make sure that the parents understand what it's all about, and that they're on board with that. So
Right.
Make sure it's really magical. Oh, I didn't mention that the nightgowns that you saw,
Yes.
I
We'll
have
look at the
white
pictures again.
nightgowns and green pajamas. Those are mine. So they don't even.
As in, you used to. They were yours when you were a kid, or they belong to you now.
I bought a whole set of all different
Okay.
sizes.
Okay.
So that way the kids are all in uniform things. I mean, we do have some families that come in, had a family that had plaid PJs for all the kids, red plaid PJs. And so all the kids came in their red plaid PJs, 4 or 5 kids in this family. But many of the families will go ahead and use the either the gowns or the green PJs that Miriam has for the session.
I like those. First of all, they have that vintage look, which I think is really important for the look that we're going for. And the white and the green really pop out of that background, which has a lot of red and brown and darker
Well,
colors.
I'm looking at one of the pictures now where they're sprinkling the dust on Santa, and I didn't see this before, but the 2 little girls have different colored hair, right? One is like a bronze and one is brown. I can't even believe my eyes, because if you got that in camera, there's such amazing highlights, the specular highlights on that hair I'm actually aghast. I've not seen this level of detail in a while.
I am a
amazing.
portrait photographer, so I
Yes.
understand about lighting a still photograph properly. So yes, I have a light. I have 2 lights, and I am using continuous lights for this. I used to use flash, but now I'm using continuous lights because when there's flash going off, then the children are more aware. Oh, what was that? Oh, she took a picture. And with the continuous lights, it's much more subtle. They maybe can hear the camera clicking, but there isn't any flash. So I have a large soft box that has it has, I don't remember the name. A large soft box with not LEDs. It's got the fluorescent daylight balanced fluorescent lights and bulbs in it.
And you learn to do this from one course, just one.
Well, the lighting and everything is the stuff we've done. Remember, we've had a portrait studio for 40 years, and our studio has been
lighting.
Yeah, our studio has within the first about 4 years or so, when I first started the studio, and then Miriam came in and joined me because I needed the help. We were very quickly towards the high end of the capabilities for lighting, exposure, and, set design, and all this kind of thing. So we have actually we've taught portrait lighting for a lot of people.
Okay.
And we've been kind of on the high end of lighting control. So it's not, when people think of most portrait studios, and Miriam and I will look at the work and going, those people don't know anything. They don't know crap about light. Yeah. The stuff that we have done in lighting and in printing our images and things like that we've expected that would happen to all of our images are things that most studios would go, well, that's an absurd level of work and care. We're not going to do that. But that's just what we did. And we learned how to do it, and do it quickly, and do it on everything. And so Miriam is really, truly a master of lighting for camera work.
I couldn't dispute that point at all, because it's like people light stuff, and it's an overkill of stuff, and it takes 6 hours to set it up, and I'm like, what's going on? Come on, it's not my forte, it's not what I do, but I see you guys have just perfected the art, in my opinion, how to do it with minimal lighting. I mean, you have 2 lights. I thought you had like 18 lights. I thought you had
there's a
lighting
second
here,
light
there.
that is lighting the hair. It's
That's
lighting
fantastic.
the hair. It's up in the upper corner of the room. It lights the hair. It also lights Santa's face when he is looking at the children.
You're saying this, and I keep going back to the picture. It's there. I don't see any
child that's looking to the, looking to the left from the camera's point of view should be getting some edge lighting from that light in the upper corner.
I mean, look at your little train sets at the bottom as well. There's that shadow and contrast detail that just pops out of the picture. Everything's three-dimensional in here. So would you like to maybe think about walking us through at some point, maybe in the next few weeks or some, the experience and when there's nobody around and how it's done, or just a lighting. How do you light something, as an example? It would be a great idea because
Yeah. It's
keep
very
budding
different.
photography.
It's very different than video lighting in a way because I have control. I'm all about creating this
Hmm.
rectangle, making sure that looks right. With video,
It's
the
moving
minute
all
you
the
start
time. Yeah.
moving, you start
Yeah.
moving that camera, all of a sudden, you may, there's the danger. Like in the behind the scenes, you saw the edge of my background. Now it wasn't that obvious, but I was going, oh, you can see the edge of the background. I don't like that, but I have control over it when I'm as a still photographer. I
When
don't
it's
show
not
that.
moving, it's easier to control 100%. But I guess the fundamentals of lighting are the fundamentals of lighting, whether it's moving or stills. You got to understand edge lighting, 3-point lighting, highlights, etc. And then Neil comes into it as a colorist, uh, and he cleans up the video images when he does his coloring stuff, which is quite phenomenal. I'm seeing this in a new light. For me, this sort of stuff never really mattered because visual effects, you control everything, you create it, it's not just there. So with this, seeing this, it's a brilliant piece of art form. I love it, and I think it would be lovely to have you do something and show us a little bit more. But the show or today was actually really all about saying thank you, because we've put you through hell for the last year, technical hell. You'd just be sitting there and wondering, okay, lumetri and contrast and the visual After Effects, and
And
you'd be
I
like,
smile and nod.
okay,
Yeah, I
so what did
get
you
it.
have for dinner? And like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel terrible. So I said, oh, by the way, it's an hour, Miriam. Just you see how quickly it goes. You see, when you're really passionate about it, time just kind of flies. And I'm so happy to see that you've had a chance to actually share little bit of your creative life. Most people, nobody knew that you do this, and it's great that you have these pictures behind you as well. Funnily enough, because it relates directly to today. So hopefully we get you back again to maybe do something about teaching budding photographers about a little bit lighting and whatever it is that you want to do.
Mhm.
But it's Neil and I just actually wanted to, we hatched this idea. So we wanted to say thank you for all the hard work that you've put in throughout the year. It's been uh, really difficult. I understand you're always on time. You're always getting it out there. You always, sometimes I'm not around and you make sure the show goes on or Neil's not there or something or the other.
It's
But you
been
keep
really, really
go.
fun. It has been a great ride.
Except for when she's pulling her hair out.
Except
Yeah.
when she's pulling her hair up. It's part of it. So a big thank you, a really huge Merry Christmas to both of you. If we were near you, I would definitely grab this package for I would sit on Santa's lap just to take photographs because you'd make me look good. So it's great. And if you want to play that little video again for you, that's something as a gift for you. You can have it and
Oh,
put it on
thank
your
you.
site
That's
and
going to
put
get
it,
shared far and wide, I'll tell
Yeah.
you.
share it wherever
Yeah.
you want. It belongs to you. You need a higher
It's fun.
resolution video, just let me know. And it's been lovely having Miriam Haugen from the Santa Experience of Haugen's Gallery. And I know it's in the comments somewhere. Oh, my brain.
What-
Santa Experience Oregon.com. Get it?
Right.
Get it? Get it now. Book her before she's booked for the next 15 years.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm booked for this year. I have people that I got a phone call this morning. Somebody was asking about it. I say, no, I mean, maybe I could squeeze in one more tomorrow, but
Well, we're hoping
basically we're
next
done.
year for the Santa Experience, hopefully we'll be seeing some cool sets, some new stuff. You never know. But
the one thing we didn't even cover here was that she did add a second set this year. We had a second room that was a baking where the kids went in and were baking with Santa.
Some of the people may have seen it in the photograph advertising this show. Actually has, you'll have to see it, Mo. I don't think you actually probably saw it.
Okay, so it's your second set.
Go to the LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, and you'll see the show, the image that I made. You're in there with us in the baking.
Am I inside the bake? Inside?
Yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah.
cool.
You're all holding cookies.
Okay, so this is on the LinkedIn. Okay, I just want to see it.
I hope that, yeah. I don't know. It may be too hard, but to bring it up right fast. But anyway,
I'll grab it as fast as I can.
It looks like Mo's right there with us.
Oh dear God. Okay, so that's no, Miriam. How could you do this? Okay, so I'll show. You know what the hell? Let me share it. What the hell? I'm on the net now, so you know. Okay, so.
Well, let's really put Mo back on his backside here.
Oh, you're gonna show it? Okay, add to the screen. Okay, there.
Yeah. Oh my God Almighty, Miriam, what have you done to me? I'm gonna keep this way. I'm gonna show it to Achilles. He's gonna. Oh my, that is. I love it. Whose arms is that? Lars in there?
That's Lars. Yeah.
I knew it. It's lovely. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna actually print it out and put it in there.
If I had more time, I might have tried to make his arms a little more brown to match your actual skin
tone. A little bit more brown. I mean, you need a lot of lights like these. A lot of lights.
A little more tan.
That's great.
I did it really fast. So
it's so cool. And there goes Neil in the. It's a fabulous picture. I love it. Thank you.
Oh, and those cookies are homemade.
I did make those cookies. Yeah.
On the baking set, Miriam makes the ginger cookies, the gingerbread men, and they are really, really good.
And this is a set, Miriam, at the back. It's just a set.
Yeah.
This.
Yes, yeah. That's just
that looks so three-dimensional.
That's just a piece of fabric. In fact, actually, I didn't take enough time. You can actually see a couple of wrinkles over to the right.
I see.
I'm sorry about pointing out the defects, but I'm going, oh, I should have pulled that out.
Okay, but there's so much of depth because of your lighting that it makes it look totally believable.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it, Mary. It's fantastic. Where do you guys go now? Let me see. Okay, you're back. So you can if you want to outro with that video, you're more than welcome to. It's been just an absolute privilege and honor. I love everything you've done. Hope that you get a lot of new bookings and share the experience with everyone that's watching, and anyone that wants to book you. The links are there. Get it done. It's well worth every cent spent. It's memories that you will never forget. I mean, it's fantastic.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing hearing the parents talk a year later about how their kids were just so incredibly blown away.
I mean, it's something that they will remember forever, and the quality is there. It lasts. This last question? How do you supply the pictures? Is it in like a book format, or is it singular pictures, or how do you give out the final product?
All of the above.
Okay.
Well,
you're gonna get it. Yeah?
I could actually pull out some things. I mean, because they can actually purchase. This is a framed piece that you can actually purchase like this.
Okay.
With 3 images in it, or a single piece. You can do just smaller prints. We have actual books, physical books.
So it's like an album that you create.
Yes.
Okay. So the next step in the Santa experience, I guess, for 2022 December would be the Santa video experience that Neil's going to do. Just putting it out there. Just not saying anything else. I'll help you with some lighting and little sprinklers in the effects, but that's quite a cool idea as well. But you need a lot of sets for that, a big studio for that kind of thing. So lovely having you, Miriam.
All right. Thank you. Well, I don't think I have an appropriate closer for our.
Play it back. Play your whole thing back again.
Okay, should we do the? Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
we'll just end with the Merry Christmas video. That sounds like a great ending.
Fantastic.